the betting, the not so much anymore is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.
Race 7 on the card, the first leg of the final pick 3. Remember, it is a 9-race program. Race 7 goes off at 15:30. It's an MR78 handicap over 1,400 meters. The race sees number 1, Quasi for sure, the very promising 3-year-old son of Quasillo, topping the weights, but more about that in a moment. First, let's catch up with a rerun of number 11, Pink Floyd, when running second at Hollywood Bets Gravel on the Polytrack on the 18th of October. And then we chat to Peter Muscat and Barbara Kennedy.
Pink Floyd's at the rail. Crimson Causeway's under a whole lot of pressure. 300 metres to go, and African Skyline becomes a big runner. Naval Secret. Pink Floyd's on the inside. Spring High. Pink Floyd's running on. Naval Secret. African Skyline. Pink Floyd. Naval Secret closest to us. Probably going to get up on the line. Naval Secret from Pink Floyd. African Skyline and Spring High. Naval Secret.
Quasi for sure. Didn't have the best run in transit last time. We were positive from the barriers and he latched on early. He still looked to be travelling very well turning in, but he did empty out the last furlong. We're going to ride him a bit quieter from the one draw on Sunday. Try and get him to switch off early, and I think you'll see a different horse on Sunday.
Yeah, we tried something different last time by putting him in the 1200. Almost paid off. Back to a 14, bit of a stronger field this time round. Just hoping for another honest run from him.
Well, you heard there from Peter Muscat. Even though he's drawn 1, he's going to try and ensure that Quasi for sure is quietly ridden. He steps back from the 1,600 meters of the Model Man Mile to the 1,400 meters, a distance over which he is unbeaten, Rahil. But his rating is 90. He's a 3-year-old. Yes, he's got a good draw, but we've just heard he's going to probably give up the advantage of that draw to be given a chance in transit. It's not an easy task for him. I know they think very, very highly of number 1, Quasi for sure. But Prince of Taranto is drawn 2. He's an older horse. He receives weight. 2 of Us is well drawn. Receives 3 kilograms from Quasi for sure. Very game, very consistent and very mature. And then the likes of Spirit of My Fate and Pink Floyd. So in looking at this race, I was grappling with myself. I was saying, is Quasi for sure a good thing? Is he that good a 3-year-old? Certainly, there was lots to like about his first 2 wins, but how strong were they really? But I know that Peter Muscat is no mean judge, thinks he's a really proper horse, number 1, Quasi for sure. But I'm going to play to beat him. Let me put my cards on the table. I'm going to not include him, and I've utmost respect for Quasi for sure, but I'm certainly going to include at least the likes of Prince of Taranto, 2 of Us, Spirit of My Fate, and Pink Floyd, perhaps 1 or 2 others, because I think as a young 3-year-old, he faces a tough test at the weights.
Yes, I completely agree with everything that you said, Graham. This is the trappiest race on the card for me, and it's a race that I suggest you go wide, because you're either in the camp of Quasi for sure, or it's a race that you need to go wide and include as many as you possibly could. I really like Prince of Taranto in this race. Well drawn in gate 2. He's a horse that the draw doesn't really matter because he does run on at the business end. Last time out, he was the best weighted in that conditional graduation race with 53.5. He won. He just got up to win that race. Giacomo Puccini has come out to win from there, and Spring High has won. So Prince of Taranto going over the 1400, it's a trip that's going to suit him a lot better, and I'm expecting him to go close in this field. As you mentioned, Pink Floyd is another horse that you got to throw in. 1200 was a bit sharp for him last time out. 1400, a trip that's going to suit him a lot better. From the 11 draw, he's a horse that's going to be dropped out and allowed to run on. In his last 4 runs, 3 of his last 4 runs, he's been the fastest to finish. So he's definitely going to be doing his best work at the finish. A horse, number 14, Walton Hall, is a horse that I quite give a nice outside chance to. He returns from a rest. He's another horse that likes to run on from off them. Enjoys the course, enjoys the distance. 4 tries, 2 wins. Unbeaten over the course and distance. He's on a mark of 69, and I think that he's going to be really competitive off that mark. And if he doesn't just need the run after a rest, I think that he's going to go close in this lineup. But it's a race that I can include others as well.
Well, there you go. I think Raheel has summed it up perfectly. You're either in the camp of number 1, Quasi for sure, who looks to be a very talented, bright prospect, the 3-year-old son of Quasillo, but no mean task as a young 3-year-old. I know we're already starting to get towards December, so obviously they should be strengthening up, but he's less experienced and he's not going to be making full advantage of the number 1 gate, as you heard from his trainer, Peter Muscat. So you're either in the camp of Quasi for sure as a banker, or you've got to consider quite a few others. Both Raheel and I are playing against number 1 Quasi for sure.
It's good fun. Days like these are great. You get the whole industry together, and to have, companies and corporations like Interbet and Cape Racing who are so generous with sort of time and energy into making a day like this possible is it's fantastic for everyone.